Welcome right now. I think we're live at the moment. So yes, I'm live on my Facebook page and also on, of course, we're on Twitch as well. So guys, it'll be fantastic. In the next few minutes, I will be actually going to how can I say this, guys? Going to Radio Italia live, and you'll be hearing the guests that are coming on my show, and I'm the guest coming on their show. We're going to reversing everything. So there's a lot of issues of the game, guys. I think Jeff Pangrazio will be talking to me about that as well. We're probably talking about the Adelaide game and the state of the game and stuff like it. But what I want to ask you right now is tell you guys that on Monday night at 8:30 p.m. we've got Angelo Picker, former South Australian who actually was general manager of Adelaide United in the NSL and I think in the A-League at the time. So yes, he's coming on to talk to us. He's live from Italy at 8:30 p.m. on Monday night with, of course, Socceroo Dad, Tony Goodwin, and of course the Lone Ranger, Planet Football, New South Wales, Carlos Bielli, guys. So yes, it's all going to be happening, and of course we're going to have a great show. As I said, Angelo is coming all the way from, not coming all the way, we're going to have him online, the modern miracles of technology, how we're going to do this. So that show's just started now in Adelaide at 5 o'clock their time, and it's now 5:30 our time. So basically I'll be coming on very shortly. So yes, they'll be calling me very soon. So just basically let's just get on and see what we can say about the game itself, and the questions that Jeff's going to be asking me. I just want to know what's going to be happening. So yes, let's just see what happens, guys, here. So hopefully you guys can actually hear me there. I need to do a test and see what's going on. So let's have a little test and see what's happening on Twitch, and we'll see what's happening. So if we're on Twitch and the sound is, hopefully it's working in the sound as well. So let's have a look at it, guys. So yep, and you might hear a little bit of stuff as well. So there we go. Let's check this sound, guys. Have a look at it. Here we go. Of stuff as well. So it's working there. Let's check this sound, guys. Have a look at it. I can hear it, guys. Here you go. Stuff as well. So it's working there. Let's check this sound, guys. Have a look. Let's get out of here. So we're on there live as well now. So there you go. And I'm sure that we're on live at as well on Facebook as well. So that's what's going to be happening. So yeah, I can hear that as well. So there you go. Commented, yes, a lot of people. Well, good up. Well, everything's working, it seems to be. So I'll be receiving a phone call in a couple of minutes. Jeff wants to talk about a few things on Italia Live, and we'll see what happens. So Twitch and Facebook we're on right now, guys, live. As you can see me right now, you can hear me as well. Let's see when they call me. So enjoy that stream also with Italia Radio as well on live too. So that's what's happening, guys. So let's just see what happens in the next few minutes. Might be a little bit quiet in a minute while they call me. But as I said before, if you've just joined us, just to let you know that we are on Italia Radio 96.7, I think it is. And we are on Twitch right now live, and we are on Facebook live as well. Later on, we'll be putting this show to YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube as well. So let's just see what happens, guys, with what Jeff's going to ask me questions and what I've got a few little notes here. I'm sure he's going to be asking me about the games on the weekend and what's going on with Melbourne Victory and Adelaide United. I'll just, we'll see. I don't want to keep talking to you guys, but just, yes, so that's all here. Alert, why are they alerting me again? They always do this. Check creativity. Yes, okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine. All right then. So let's go here and get out of the system here and check it all here. So let's have a look. That's all here. So thank you very much. The alert there, if it wasn't me. They keep saying these things about alerts on every time you change channels now. You're actually, yes, it was me. Thank you very much. Done. That's it. They all want to know that. I don't understand what's going on with the systems. They've become really strict and everything. So please, I'm just waiting right now for Jeff to give me a call and have me on waiting. So, yep. So there you go. Enjoy some, if I can put a bit of music on or something, let me know, guys. But just waiting for Jeff to give me a call now. So, yep. So, yes, here we go. That's it. Basically, a little bit of things happening here right now. I don't know what's going on here. So, of course, So the post there as well. Here we go. Okay, somebody's watching. Let's go here right now.
Oh, good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon all the time. All this good afternoons and things today. So let me play you something, guys, that you might be interested in listening to what's happening in the next few moments. That could be a bit of advertising for you as well. So there you go. Okay, here we go. Let's just listen to this for a sec, okay? Good afternoon, everyone. Right now, I'm on right here now live actually on in a shopping centre. Of course, I get around and do things and do a little bit of advertising. In the next hour, so we're talking here at 5
Right now, shortly.
p.m. I will be on Italia Radio Adelaide, 97.6, I think 97.6 with Jeff Pangrazio. We have a lot to talk about on Radio Italia, 97.6. Hello, Michael, how are you? So I'm going to be on radio talking about the game. We're absolutely going to blast them, apparently. A lot of mistakes are being made here right now in the game. The disgusting situation about selling the game to Sydney and everything, and how Melbourne Victory actually have got a lot of problems with, with getting supporters at the game. I mean, these people have crucified Melbourne Victory. It's not just actually all the supporters. Why should they crucify the good behavioural supporters and actually blast them off the ground as well, actually not having them at the game? So it is ridiculous to basically, say that you have to get rid of all the supporters of Melbourne Victory, but that's not right. These people have paid their memberships all year. So why should they be thrown out of the game, thrown out of the stadiums? It's ridiculous, guys. So on Radio Italia, 97.6 in Adelaide. So I'm going to be on the radio station. And so if you want to actually get on there 5:30 on live, we're going to be on Twitch Live, Facebook and YouTube all simultaneously. So we've got a brand new system now that we can actually be live on a lot of different platforms. So guys, if you want to listen to some things that are going to be said today about the game in this country, and don't forget on Monday night we've got former General Manager of Adelaide United, Angelo Picca from Italy Direct. He's coming on live to talk about the state of the game in this country. Things aren't working the way they're supposed to be working, and we're going to be saying a few things this afternoon on Radio Italia 97.6. So if you really want to listen to something, you can also get us online. We will be online as well. So you can get me at 5:30 on, as I said, Twitch, YouTube and Facebook. So guys, get on there. You're going to hear a lot of things this afternoon. Our show has grown. It's getting bigger and everything. So it's fantastic. We're going to be on a lot of different platforms in the next few weeks. We're all over the world now, so it's grown. It's getting big. So don't forget, at 8:30 on Monday night, former Adelaide United General Manager is going to be on our show direct from Italy, guys. So join me, and don't forget at 5:30 this afternoon, I'm on Radio Italia and 97.6, and you can actually hear this. You can hear this stuff on our Facebook site live at 5:30 p.m. I'll be ready there for them to get me on the radio program, and you can hear the radio program as well. Or otherwise, you can go to their, of course, their site there and get on their app and listen to it. But get on our site if you like, and you'll be able to hear it there at 5:30 p.m. So, okay, guys, see you in about an hour on Radio Italia
very shortly
on the Facebook side of Footballers. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
So, yeah, you heard me a few minutes ago before, and just basically getting ready now for them to call me. It's he said, be ready at 5. Well, basically 5 o'clock Adelaide time. It's 5:30 Melbourne time. So they're half an hour. We're ahead of them at half an hour. So I'm just waiting right now for this, saying Candy's actually there, and she's watching right now. I can see her message. There you go. So there you go, guys. So I'm just waiting right now for the boys to give me a call from Adelaide so we can get on. So we'll see what happens. Just wait on for a couple of minutes, guys, and let's see what happens here. If you watch the A-League games in the weekend, particularly if you watched Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory, not a dynamic game, and I'm hoping that we speak about that and the situation with all of the, well, I call it the shituation about the debacle between Melbourne City and also that day against Melbourne Victory, that rioting has destroyed a few things about the supporters at Melbourne. So we'll find out about that shortly. If Jeff wants to say something, hopefully he will, and we can talk about that stuff as well. So yes, here we go. Just waiting, guys. Hopefully he calls me very shortly, So yep. Who's on here right now? So here we go. We're actually live. I'm waiting for Radio Italia to give me a call. I should put some music on for you guys. I should become a DJ or something. I don't know. So I'm not, let's have a look at this. There's a lot of things to talk about with Jeff very shortly, guys. I might have started the show a little bit early, but let's see what comes up in Adelaide this afternoon and what he says to me and what he wants to talk about. So, yes. So here we go. It's now 9:43 minutes, 9 minutes and 46 seconds. We're waiting for Radio Italia to call me. So, yeah. Let's see what happens, guys. In a few moments, he should call me, and then we'll see what happens from there. It shouldn't be too long now.
So I've been also, if you understand, we've been studying on how to actually make our show better and reach further out, which we are on Twitch right now live and Facebook live. And I'd like to welcome Peter Scott, and Candy is on as well. Peter Scott, welcome from Austria. So you can actually say a few things as well if you want to. They'll come up as there as well. So all these things to talk about the game in this country. We've had a massive problem with what's going on, but some of us here who are independents are trying to fix things, but it's very hard. People don't want to listen. That's right. So I'm just waiting for them to call me. It's 5:41 now. It's Adelaide time. So let's 5:41 Melbourne time, that is. So yeah, let's see what happens now. So yeah. Hope they call me. I just hope they do. But anyway, there's Jeff right now calling me there. He said about quarter past their time, quarter to our time. So yeah, a few more moments, hopefully. And the other thing I want to tell everyone right now is that Mark Ridden made a big fuss about players playing during the summer. He says it's boring. The players can't perform. It's too hot. Do we go back to winter? Do we start the game a little bit later into the summer? I don't know, because of the second division coming in 2 years' time on March 24. Let's just see what happens. It's supposed to be here next year, in March 24, the second division. Let's see what happens there as well. So there's a lot of things happening as the FA are doing a lot of work behind the scenes with the second division, and that's the thing. So a lot of things to talk about. Hope Jeff will actually let me say a few things so we can actually find out what is happening as well. So yes, I'm still waiting, guys. I'm sorry to hold you up, but still waiting. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as I say. You've always got to be patient when somebody wants to call you and put you online. So that's what's happening with me right now. So yeah. Check our sound. Our sound is, I'm sure that you can actually hear the sound. I went on Twitch before and I went on Facebook and I could hear it all. So yes, I'm sure of it. So if you can give me a little thumbs up that you can hear me, I'll be really happy. And if it's still working, that's right. So yes. Here we go. Might have to edit this. So much talk here without even guests. Here we go. Just a few moments. Hopefully they'll be calling me. Okay. Oh, yes. Excellent. Sound quality is out. Thank you very much, Miss Chanterelle. It's you've become a sound engineer, actually. So that's good. We've worked very hard, guys, to get our sound well, our picturing well. We've got a few other things to work on in the next few weeks about having 3 different cameras, 3 different angles to do shows in clubs, do live shows in clubs, go to other places where we can do them. As you can see, I was in Queensland a few weeks ago and did a show at Lions FC. That turned out quite well. That was outside broadcast equipment. It's like producer, director, sound engineer. That's me. I'm doing everything at once. So if you're looking to actually sponsor us, to sponsor this show, it's going places in the next few months. So believe me, all sorts of different platforms we're going on. As I said, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. We're on Twitch right now live. So there we go. So it's all happening, guys, for this show. And I'm hoping these guys call me in 1 minute, please. Thank you. Hopefully. That's what they've said to me. So, yeah. Unless they've got some difficulties, we'll see what happens. Yeah. Here we go. I should put some music on, I'd say. Probably should, actually. Maybe sing a couple of songs. Who knows? Make it into a music show as well. Here we go. And now it's about 15 minutes gone just about. And I'm waiting for this call, actually. So, yeah. Twitch and Facebook are all on. And you guys can hear that quite live as well, actually. So that's pretty good. Pretty good, actually. So, yes. Are they going to call me or not? I wonder. Whether I should call them in Adelaide as well. As they said, they're probably behind a bit more. A few little issues they've probably got. Hopefully, get a phone call very shortly. So, yeah. Okay. Should I have a look at the phone? No, there's nothing here. Radio Italia, no call, no nothing so far. So I'm just waiting, guys. I'm sure they've said to me they're going to have Jim Tsakenis on. Jim Tsakenis is live as well. A few other sports people talking about a few things. Oh, here we go. Here they are. Here they are, guys. Hang on. Hello.
Harry, how are you, mate?
Very well, thank you, Jeff.
You ready? You ready for the big one?
I'm ready for the big one, and we are live on actually Football Less on Twitch and Facebook Live. People are watching you right now and hearing you.
Beautiful, mate. We're going to talk about also your team, Melbourne Victory, and what your thoughts are and everything. Just a quick touch on, but we've got plenty to talk about. All right?
I've got a lot to
Harry,
talk about.
don't go through it too quick because we're on to about 5:45. All right.
5:45. Yeah, that's kind of
just take your time. Anything you can fit in, you say.
I will.
There's
I'll
no problem, mate. I'll let you. All right.
No problem, Jeff. That's too easy.
Well, you'll be on in 2 minutes, mate. All right.
No problem. Thanks.
Thank you, mate.
No worries, Jeff. Here you go, guys. Jeff is actually allowing us to say a few more things today, which is good. So you're going to hear a lot of controversial stuff from me. I'm hoping that I don't get in trouble for this, but I'm thinking we're going to talk about the truth here. So that's right. Yeah.
This one and look to this one.
Here we go.
Okay.
You can hear him in the background, guys.
That's yours. Don't touch the one. Now you got it. You got your foot on.
Yeah, you can hear these technical directors there.
Put this on. Lift the one up.
It's working all right.
Put that one on.
Oh, boy. They're being serious here, actually. Very serious. Here we go. We'll be on in a couple of minutes.
You want to get him ready? Get him ready.
Get him ready. Get him ready. Here we go. Get him ready, he says. Here we go. Just about to go on.
Biglietti $55
Bit of Italian there, guys.
Cena di 4 portate.
Boy.
Dolce e caffè. Le bevande
Italian.
si possono
It's an Italian
acquistare
radio
a
station. As I said to you, it is
prezzi
Radio Italia. One of the biggest, they're probably the biggest sports show in Adelaide radio on FM.
Al Molinare Sport and Social Club 8261 4618 o qualsiasi membro del comitato. Vieni a festeggiare
Here we go.
San Valentino.
Amazing. What a language, eh? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful, guys.
Hi, I'm Matt McQuinley. Join me each Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. for Change the World with Matt McQuinley on Radio Italia Uno. We focus on changing the world for the better by taking personal responsibility, destroying victim philosophy, canceling cancel culture, and by discussing as well as listening to each other on topics like leadership, cultural trends, beliefs, business, history, world events, and more. Change the World with Matt McQuinley on Radio Italia Uno, 87.6 FM.
Here we go, guys. We're just about to go on.
You're listening to the Sport Show featuring soccer, football, cricket, in fact, all sports. Jeff Sports.
Here we go, guys.
On Radio Italia Uno, 87 points.
Yes, we are live on 87.6 and beautiful weather in Adelaide. And obviously we're speaking to a man that's right up with the A-League. And we're speaking to Harry Sunday from Football West. Welcome to the show, Harry. And how are we, mate?
Oh, very well. Thank you, Jeff. It's nice and hot in Melbourne again today. And, of course, we've got a lot to speak about, haven't we?
We've got a lot to speak about. And one thing I want to get started on, and we've hampered on it for some time, but what was your thinking that Football Australia, with the sanctions on your club, Melbourne Victory, over the pitch invasions, and where do you see the 550,000, which includes 450 in fines and damages? Do you feel that they've gone the right way in that area with James Johnson and all his board?
Well, Jeff, what I have been studying all this stuff. It's all basically they're all sanctioned. All this stuff. They're not going to pay it if they do any kind of mistake again. That will be put into force. So they're all, as I said, they're all in the background there. If they go back again and do it again, well, then they've got to pay all this money. The thing I'll ask you, Jeff, is this: is that I have been on the Melbourne Victory supporters sites. I've been listening to people. They've been talking to me. I just cannot believe what they've done to the members who are faithful and they behave, and families and everything, to basically shut these guys out and not have them at the games. That is ridiculous. I mean, and I'll tell you, a lot of these supporters want their money back for actually. I mean, they've got season tickets and everything, Jeff. I can't understand this at all. I can't.
How will the club survive with your eyes, Harry? Obviously, you've been a great supporter for a long time. How will you see it go within the future of this year? I feel that they're going to struggle. They've been a solid club for a long time, and they've had a lot of success. We talk about Muscat when he was there, and the success he had, the team he built for a long time, and the team he loved. And can they proceed to go with all this year with the supporter base not actually getting behind them?
Well, you can actually hear what happened on, of course, the game on last Saturday. Of course, if you're looking at the game there was no enthusiasm. There was no support. I was watching the game from Adelaide, of course, on of course Channel 10 Bold. We've got a few issues with them as well. But the thing about this is, Jeff, you saw the game yourself. I mean, how can they survive without support? A supporters group going. All you could hear was the Adelaide crowd there with a bit of drums, and you had Red Wig Steve as well, and all these guys there. It was just so little. I couldn't even hear the crowd that much. If we didn't have those goals, Jeff, those goals at all, that beautiful goal from D'Agostino, what a great goal, and of course. That goal, that goal from Craig Goodwin. If we didn't have that little bit of entertainment, how would that game actually be set? Would it have been boring? That little bit of action, Jeff?
I'll be honest with you, Harry. I totally agree because with those two goals, they were really class goals. And Agostino and Craig Goodwin, when Agostino's up and running, he was on the ground a lot, falling over. I don't know how many times I counted he fell over, but. In saying all that, the game was very, very boring.
It was.
And I don't really feel that Popovic is getting the best out of the players he's got. Has he got the right players on the pitch? Now let's get to the bottom of it, Harry. I don't think so,
no.
And I think Adelaide at the present moment, they haven't got any money in the tank to go to the January window, which we'll talk about some of these clubs in very shortly, Harry. But I feel that they're struggling with a real good midfielder.
Yep.
I don't think we're getting enough midfield ball, and I feel that when you haven't got a good midfielder who works hard, you're just running from defence. You're running straight to your forward half, aren't you? And it's no defensive midfield pressure. So what I seen last week, it was a very boring game, and I feel that even Melbourne Victory's defensive line all over the park. I mean, no striker. Do you know what's happening with Fornaroli? He didn't even get any game time on the park. I feel that something's not right there, as well as going from Perth to Melbourne Victory.
Well, as I saw the game and that first goal with Craig Goodwin, I just couldn't believe how they could. These defenders, Melbourne Victory defenders, were just standing still. They were just standing still in the goals there. They passed around and bang, and Craig he scored a goal. So they're so disorganised. Nunny's gone. He's gone for the whole season, saying his ACL is gone. They brought him in there to bring more supporters in. How can you even bring supporters in there when you can't even bring supporters anymore through the season now? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Harry, what was his salary? I heard was extraordinary. What he was getting paid to a player of Nani. Has he performed at that the financial side of it? I don't think so. No. I'm not sure what you're thinking. He's been really lacklustre in the player they thought they'd bring here to Melbourne Victory.
Just remember what they say, Jeff, is you could bring a player in there, a very good player in there. You could bring Ronaldo if you wanted to bring Ronaldo. But if you haven't got the players around him to support him and play properly, that's the situation too. You've got to have players. I mean, this guy's probably so high up. Of course, Manchester United, he played for the national team Portugal as well. I mean, if you haven't got the players around him to basically read him, you've got a guy who's a marquee player. If you haven't got the best players around him, some really good players around him as well, imagine if you played for Adelaide, the way they work around Craig Goodwin. I just can't believe that. So what you've got to understand is he may have not performed because of the way the team's not performing. That's the other issue.
Yeah. I mean, the transfer window, January the 11th to February the 7th, I'm sure it's going to be a real opportunity for some of these 12 sides to retool and reload in attempt to challenge for 223 crown. And we know at the moment who's been the strongest in the A-League. And we're going to talk also about attendances, Harry, very shortly. But I think the main one is some of these sides looking at their squad and with depth-wise. I mean, a lot of sides go into, I don't know, about round 12 or whatever it is at the moment. Yeah. They struggle with depth. Have they got the right players? And sometimes it's too late to get players on the park. They're sitting in other teams that just can't get in the starting 11. So we look at, obviously, let's go to Adelaide United. I mean, they've got a massive game tonight, which we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. But this is a 6-pointer tonight for Adelaide United because I feel tonight, if they don't get the job done, they're in a bit of bit of a pain because tonight this is massive for him. This is a 6-pointer. Craig Goodwin, Ben O'Halloran, Orochi, Bisky. He's been a bit down as well, this Japanese boy.
Yes,
he's got a lift tonight. I don't feel that playing him on his own as a number 9, excuse me, is the right way to go, Harry, because I feel that he hasn't got the speed. For one, he just can't control it. But who's working in front of it? And I don't feel he's had that real support. And then Craig Goodwin can't do everything. He's done a sensational job. Benny Halloran, he was out for a game and we missed him. Zach Clow, he's getting near full fitness, but he needs to lift some of these boys. But a midfield and a class striker is lacking for me at Adelaide United, and I feel that that's not going to happen.
I saw how tall that Japanese striker is. I won't mention his name, but what you said, how tall he is.
Hiroshi.
Hiroshi. How tall he is. And I just couldn't believe that he didn't do much at all. And this is what I can't understand, Jeff, is that we go back to Nani again, right? I mean, if you haven't got the players around him, how can they read the player? How long has this Japanese guy been in there now? How long has he been there?
This will be his second year.
Yep. If
I'm right, second year, mate. Second year, I'd say.
This is the thing about this. Yeah. I can only say, Jeff, that we bring players from overseas. You say the transfer window is opening up. All we're going to see in the transfer window is guys swapping clubs. I've not heard of any new players coming in. I've heard of no new marquees coming in. It's just ridiculous. Why can't this? What do they call themselves? The Premier Leagues, whatever. I don't see any changes. The only thing, Jeff, I can see here is that they need to try more juniors. And when I go back to Ange Postecoglou, and I go back to Mr. Muscat as well, our coach there at Melbourne Victory, when he used to try all these young kids, and he was getting a bit of success out of them. Now, why can't they get the young kids out of there? They've got the Adelaide United Academy. They've got kids at Melbourne Victory that are probably a lot better than everybody else. But I don't understand the transfer window. You've got juniors there that you've been developing as well. So this is what I can't understand, Jeff. Are they going to keep recycling? How many players have played in? I mean, I can say Sporanovic, who's playing for Melbourne Victory. How many clubs has he actually got out of and moved? My God, you know?
Yeah. We're talking to Harry Sunday live from Melbourne. He runs a great podcast and Twitter. You're actually up to everything at the moment, Harry, and doing really well to expand your show. And it's a really good show. But in saying that, Harry, where do you see some of these sides? I mean, if we look at it, also the transfer window, who can bring players in? We talk about Brisbane Roar probably needing attacker. Charlie Austin leaving, coming here.
Oh, yes.
Thought they had the right edge going forward. He's gone. You know, they've got to try. I think you are right, Harry. They've got to go back to basics and teach some of these younger players.
Exactly.
But let's not take anything away from Central Coast Mariners and the job that Nick Montgomery has done. He's been fantastic.
He has.
They're under new ownership. They've still got the most cash-rich of sides. They're down with money, but they're still needing a midfielder or a wing back would be useful for them. But they're going to be solid this year, and in his second year and what he wanted to bring to the club, and I heard him in press conference, he said, we just got to add to our list a bit of quality and we'll go somewhere. I mean, Cummings has been outstanding for him. He's a real playmaker. He reads the play, and that's why it makes him a good player. And building it, like you said, Harry, with the right players around you, makes you the side that where Central Coast are sitting right in present. They're going to be dangerous.
They are. They're going to be very dangerous, Jeff. What I'm going to say is that, look, it's going back to basics, like I told you, and you're saying it as well. Let's get back to basics. Let's get all the kids in here now. Get them back in again. You're going to unearth someone. You're going to unearth someone in the transfer window somewhere. I know that a lot of kids aren't getting an opportunity, and this is the problem here now. We're going to bring these guys from overseas, and they're going to come over here, and they're going to leave. You saw Charlie Austin. I think it was a lot more there to say, hello, what have I come here for? I mean, players from Europe, where are they going? They're going to China. They're going to the MLS. There is nothing here to hold people. When we used to get Del Piero and those big Naheski and all these guys, Litbarski, even him, he was the first, of course, Litbarski, who coached Sydney FC, of course, they won the final the first year. They had Dwight York playing there. I mean, we're missing these guys. You need to bring people to get bums on seats. We're not getting them here, Jeff. And we've got to try and unearth some players ourselves here as well, you see?
No, you're definitely right. Hey, let's take a short break, Harry, and we'll come back and speak to you after the break, mate. Plenty of news in the A-League going forward.
At Elders Insurance Adelaide,
guys.
our mission is to provide outstanding service and superior coverage to each and every one of our clients. With over 30 years of experience, we treat every client with mutual respect and understanding. We'll listen carefully to your specific needs and requirements in order to develop insurance solutions with a level of service and coverage you can't find anywhere else. Elders Insurance Adelaide East is a family-owned and run business with Italian tradition, which is built on honesty, integrity and trust. Make an appointment today and go and see Tony and the team at Elders Insurance Adelaide East, 54 to 56 Kensington Road, Rose Park, or telephone 8364 9477. We're an authorised representative of Elders Insurance Underwriting Agency, Proprietary Limited, Elders Insurance, underwritten by QBE Insurance, Australia Limited. Unique Stone has been making their clients happy for well over a decade. They source their stone from all over the world: Italy, Turkey, Spain, Israel. It's a beautiful product.
Stone is the focal point of a home, a new home or a renovation. When you put stone in your kitchen, it's that wow factor that you get when people walk in.
Radio Italia Uno wants to introduce you to Armando Paradiso, proud owner of Unique Stone.
A friend of mine owned a business called the Marble House in Rundle Street, Kent Town, and his father owned that business, and I went to work there on weekends. So essentially, that was how I was born into the industry.
Unique Stone, 49 Jacobson Crescent, Holden Hill. Their website, Unique Stone, that's UNIQSTONE.com.au. Their phone number, 8266 2280. And for Facebook and Instagram, simply search Unique Stone.
I love my job, I love my business, I love the people within the business, I love the clients.
You're listening to Jeff's Sports Show, featuring soccer, football, cricket, in fact, all sports. Jeff's Sports Show on Radio Italia Uno 87.6. Radio Italia Uno.
Yes, we're talking to Harry Sunday. He does a fantastic podcast in Melbourne on Monday nights. It's really, really good in what he's doing, the work he does behind the scenes. He talks to some great people too. Paul Wade the other night, I listened to Harry, was sensational. Harry, let's get back to the A-League and what we got plenty to talk about. Obviously, we see Melbourne City sitting on top, Harry, and doing a really, really good job. They got the players all over the park, and they recruit always very well. They got the capacity. Manchester City sister club, but they've always got players they can bring in and out. Who's been disappointing for yourself, Harry, that you've seen this year, mate?
Well, Jeff, when you said Manchester City, you're talking about the City Group. You're talking about unlimited players who can come and play for Melbourne City. You're talking about the Sheikh the Sheikh there, who actually owns the three. There's a couple of clubs he owns. So we're talking about here him bringing a few different players in, and when he wants to bring them in, he'll bring them in. There's money there. There's money there. The disappointing thing is that Brisbane Roar are very disappointing. I'll tell you why, Jeff. Because a few weeks ago, I found out a few things about them. Is that they actually have cut their youth team. It's gone. It's done. So they've got no players coming in now. That is very bad. And what I want to say here is that they've cut their juniors out. They've got no one. I spoke to someone in Brisbane a few weeks ago when I was there at Lions FC. They're not connected to them anymore. They have no more development of kids at that club. That is very sad. Very sad. So they're going to be relying on actually bringing players in from elsewhere. So, Jeff, that is really bad. And we're talking about developing players through the system of the A-League and the youth league there, and they've cut them. And I'm very scared that this is going to happen to some other clubs because they can't afford to actually keep them going. Jeff?
Yeah, 100%. Without youth, without the younger teams in the competition, you don't survive because that's where we shouldn't talk about. But this is what happens in MPL clubs, State League 1, State League 2. The junior system, all the juniors, how many teams you got, keeps the A boys running. To be honest, Harry, with you, and I've been in clubs for some time. Where are we seeing Sydney at, Harry, at the moment? I'm not sure Corica's job's really safe going into probably mid-season. Where do you see him at the moment, Corica? I feel like he's under a bit of pain in his job.
He's a lot of mixed emotions this year about Sydney FC. I was very surprised at the beginning of the season they weren't doing very well. They're winning here. They're going. It's just sort of like I'd like to know the age group of the team. Actually, I'd love to know the age group of the team. I've not seen but they've had marquees in the past and big names, and I mean I don't see them. I don't know. The only way you can actually see them, there's a few more rounds going through. Let's just see in the next few weeks where he ends up. But I tell you what. He's not a Graham Arnold. He's not a Dwight York. I mean, even he's struggling at the moment too at MacArthur Bulls. But the thing is, look, we've lost a lot of international coaches that were coming in. A lot of international coaches, big name coaches. This is where you need to bring, and of course Dwight York with the popularity he has there. People, even though people aren't even turning up there, he's got a big name himself. But I don't know with Corica. He's got no creativity as a coach. I mean, Arnold was doing quite well. He took the national job, and you can see his success there at the World Cup, can't you? So there you go. I don't think Corica's got the popularity anymore, actually.
No. What about Western United? They haven't really performed this year. They've been really disappointing. I mean, you call it hangover from a premiership side, but I was just looking on stats, Harry, and what they get at most average games. On an average, they get 2,744. How can you survive with 2,744 supporters? They've had 19,209 so far in total. Harry, that's just not up to expectations, mate.
No, it's they promised so much at the beginning. They promised to put a stadium up and everything to have their own stadium, their own to basically get their own players to get the juniors up and have their own, as I said, youth team and everything else. It's just falling apart. It's falling apart. I don't understand anything. I mean, look, put it this way. If, and I spoke to you a few weeks ago with Charlie, if you remember, and I said, if he doesn't start performing, if Mr. I'm talking about, the coach there, of course, John Aloisi, if he doesn't start performing very shortly, I'll probably sack him and get rid of him. I mean, people said, well, last year he won the final, but hang on. If he was in Europe right now and he's won let's say in one of the leagues in Europe, right? Last year doesn't count. You know that for a fact. How many times they've sacked coaches that have actually won finals? And you're talking about Ranieri. What about Ranieri, eh? He won the final with Leicester City. The next year, he was gone. He's gone.
He was gone.
So that's the thing. Yeah. You need every year. You've dusted off last year. It's all finished. You cleared the slate. You're starting again. You've got to be up there again. And if he was in Europe, he'd be gone now. I'd say.
Harry, I went through the stats, and I'm sure the listeners would love to take notice in what I've wrote down. I mean, this is the 222, 223 attendance stats, and I really feel that I really had a good look at it, and I think, gee whiz. Sydney obviously are sitting on top with a total of 111,276. They've been getting 18,546 people to their game. Then we talk about, obviously, Melbourne Victory when they were strong and everything was travelling. They had 58,950. So they were getting 14,738. Adelaide United, they were sitting in third, Harry.
Yeah.
They're 50,200. They've been getting 10,000 to a game. I mean, that is really, really good. We're talking about Adelaide now, Harry.
Of course.
Melbourne, but, that is really good. Western Sydney, obviously 58. They're getting about 9 and a bit to the games. Probably the obviously we spoke about Western United.
Yep.
They're down the bottom, 274. Then Perth, they've really dropped off. And obviously when you don't have success, that's what happens. They're on 3,837. MacArthur, they're just on 4 again. I don't feel, Harry, if this keeps going, that even our Central Coast sitting on second, 6-8, 6-1. that the game can survive with this going forward.
Jeff, as clubs that are carrying the other clubs, and that's what's going on. And what you've got to understand is I think it's Western Sydney Wanderers, Melbourne Victory, Sydney FC are actually trying to keep Newcastle afloat. How can you have three clubs there that are actually, I mean, that's a conflict of interest. I mean, how other clubs have to give benefits to the other clubs to keep them afloat. I mean, I don't understand what's going on here. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, in any other league in the world, do you really have to own teams in the same league? That's unheard of. That's unheard of anywhere else. And I don't understand how FIFA cannot even step into that as well. But these A-Leagues, they're the bosses, of course. This A-League's the A-League men's, these guys who run the A-League. I'm not talking about Football Australia now. They've got a massive mountain to climb here. And to actually sell the grand final to Sydney for $20 million for 3 years, I'd like to know where that money's going, Jeff. So, I just can't understand this. What will $20 million do for 12 teams? You tell me.
Yeah. Hey, Harry, let's get on tonight's game, mate. A-League match 13 or 26 been underway already, and we talk about Adelaide United versus Macarthur.
Oh, God.
Where's Adelaide got to win this game tonight, Harry, and you're thinking what you've seen of Macarthur? Because Macarthur can be competitive on the ground. They'll serve it up to you. They've got 3 or 4 really quality players. Probably Adelaide have got 2 or 3. But Adelaide tonight, mate, they need to get a win, otherwise they're in trouble.
I saw Ben Haller and the way he played last week. I said to myself, what is going on here? That guy, the way he went through these defenders, I just can't believe. Honestly, he's a massive key. He's a massive key. He's played in Europe. Well, the guy's got European. As I said, he's got that sort of been overseas, played over there, come back as a better player. As you can see, to matching up with Craig Goodwin, my God, he's played in Saudi Arabia. He's played at the World Cup. So you've got. I think you've got more experience in Adelaide. You've got more experienced players, and they showed that last week. I just couldn't believe how they couldn't even score a couple of more goals and actually beat Melbourne Victory, mate. These are the keys. These 2 guys are keys as far as I'm concerned. So yeah.
What about Saturday's game, Harry? Tomorrow, 4:30, Western United take on Sydney. 2 sides that probably haven't underperformed.
I don't think that. I think that if Sydney win this game, I think Aloisi might be under so much pressure. I tell you what, and you know what you said before. If you don't perform, you don't get bums on seats. You don't get people there either. That's the thing.
That's another problem. Yeah, to the A-League. Hey, who you think can win this game, Harry? Western United.
I'm sure it's going to be. I'm sure of it. Sydney for sure. I'm sure of it. At least 2-0. 2-0 at least. Yeah.
2-0. Hey, Brisbane Raw take on Melbourne City Saturday, Harry, at 7:15.
Is that in Melbourne?
Can we see Brisbane getting to Melbourne City? I don't think so, mate.
No way. There's no way they. No way. No.
Impossible. It's sad, isn't it, when the competition's this far away from each other. Hey, Saturday, 10 p.m, Perth Glory take on Melbourne Victory. This could be a win for Perth Glory.
I'm sure
they play all right at home, Harry.
They do play all right at home. At Macedonia Park, it's a little ground there. I've seen the ground. They're very smart, Jeff. They're very smart to go into a little boutique stadium there and fill the place up. It may not be getting a lot of people, but they are filling that little park. You see what I mean? They got support there for that little park, and I'm sure that you're talking about the massive trip to Perth is going to probably affect the Melbourne boys as well. So yeah.
Sunday, Wellington take on Central Coast at 12:30. Harry.
Central Coast at 12:30. Is that going to be in New Zealand or is that going to be at Central Coast?
No, that's in New Zealand, Harry. Wellington over in Wellington, mate.
Well, you're going to say Wellington at home always play well, and they've been winning games. They've been winning games at home, so of course, and they'll get a bit of a crowd there, hopefully too.
Yeah. Well, Central Coast are really playing well, and they have been getting a few more. Wellington.
They have.
Hey, Sunday 2:30, Newcastle Jets take on Western Sydney. Arthur Pappas must be under the pressure pump.
Well, he's under the pressure pump, all right. I just can't believe that he had a bit of success last year, but no, poor Arthur. I just feel sorry for him. He's just come out of for a few years ago. He was with Ange before, learning with Ange in Japan and everything as assistant and that sort of stuff. A high quality coach came from here, and it's the same again, Jeff. If you haven't got the players, Jeff, you can't perform. Yep. They've got no money. They've got no, and so basically they're just going in and trying to play as well as they can. That's all.
I'm just going to go through the Women's League very quickly. Match 11 of 20. Saturday, Western United take on Brisbane Roar 150. Saturday, Melbourne City take on Western Sydney at 2:30. Saturday, Adelaide United take on Melbourne Victory at 3:30. And Sunday, Canberra United take on Wellington. Thank you very much, Harry, for joining us on 87.6 FM. Really appreciate your time, mate, and keep up your good work with your own show, mate. You're fantastic. Thank you very much, Harry.
Thank you for having me, Jeff. Thank you very much. And everybody out there, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to take a short break, and after the break, we're going to come back and talk.
Well, there you go, guys. There it is there on the Radio Italia. If you want to replay it later on for some friends as well, you can also do that as well. So, guys, thank you very much for joining me this afternoon on Football S, live with Italia Radio. And Jeff had a few little good points, and he spoke to me as well. So, thanks, guys. We'll see you on Monday night at 8:30. Don't forget, Angelo Picker will be on there, guys. Former Adelaide United General Manager will be on talking to us about the state of the game in this country, and also he'll be live from Italy with the Socceroo dad, Craig's his son, Tony Goodwin, and of course the Lone Ranger, Planet Football, New South Wales, Mr. Carlos Billy. Guys, catch us then. Thank you.